Boom, boom, boom. Now a little louder. All right, we're live. Hey, morning, Hook. Okay, I should probably flip those two scales. I didn't quite know how to place these scales because I'm like, oops, that's not what I wanted to move. This, maybe put the Mixolydian down here. The Mixolydian is a new scale though, so I kind of wanted to put it on top, but then I noticed that on the major minor or major Mixolydian thing. So what I kind of want to do is, because remember, we're learning this together. This is so, we're learning this together. So, it was interesting too. I don't know if we talked about this on Saturday. I had to take the weekend off, right? Because one of the worship leaders last week that Alex and I were hanging out with last weekend, he came down with COVID during the week, so we had to take the weekend off. They don't want the whole team to get infected, or then they have no worship team. And then they'll use robots, and then they won't bring us back. But it was so weird. It didn't feel like the weekend. In fact, I'm so grateful for church because it really breaks up my week. Because if I wasn't doing church on Saturday and Sunday, I mean, every day would just seem identical. But at least like I have a marker for today's Monday. It doesn't even feel like Monday right now because I didn't go to church yesterday. The only thing that makes it feel like Monday is I took the trash out last night. That was it. That's the only reason. And the thing was, Alex and I both had to take the weekend off. Of course, we hung out this weekend. He came over last night. We had dinner. Emma, my daughter's here in town for the next couple weeks, so the kids are trying to hang out as much as possible. Not sure when she's going to come back. Maybe. Well, I mean, she has. Yeah, maybe in the summer. But hey, Bruce, good to see you. Anyway, what was my point? I can't remember my point. But anyway, it just doesn't feel like Monday, and because it didn't feel like the weekend. So I think I'm going back next. I've had no symptoms. I got one of those oxygen sat tester things, and I have a thermometer, and take my temperature a couple times a day, send it to them, and go, hey, look, no temperature. Here's my oxat rate. You can get those for like $15 on eBay. I think I just bought one for Jack because our second son has compromised compromised lungs, and the doctors, every doctor in the world looked into this and was not able to find out what it was. So so this, I think this was not even $20. It's pretty good. So got this for Jack. Here, I'll put the link in there so you can see. And it's a good because here's the thing about the COVID. A lot of times you don't realize that you've got something obstructing your blood getting to your, oxygen getting to your bloodstream. And so a lot of people that get in trouble are the ones where their organs start to shut down. And that may happen sooner than later. And if you have a good oxat rate, I think anything in the 90s is good. There may be somebody here that can say, oh, no, 80s is fine too. But typically I was testing mine, it was 95 or higher, maybe 92 sometimes. And it would change if you took a deep breath, like that kind of thing. It's really weird. And it's not like it pricks your finger or anything. It just goes on your finger. It also tells your pulse. So that's kind of cool. So you can check that out. And then I saw some of you did some Christmas shopping on the Amazon links, and I appreciate that. Maybe a couple bucks here and there. Let's see. Now oh no, can't have this one open. That one. Okay, so I posted at the top of this chat. I've got if you go all the way to the top, you can see the jam track and the Discord. I also have. I finally uploaded designs for. I did not. Oh, sorry, Brian. It won't let me. It won't let me post it because of the YouTube video. But Brian's saying that Tony Rice passed away Christmas Day. I did not see that. And that happened in. Was he in Nashville? Because that was like Nashville. That was a weird day. The bombing in Nashville. That was like what? That was crazy. They're still unraveling that one. See, now here's the thing, Bruce. That doesn't make sense that YouTube wouldn't allow YouTube links. I mean, unless it's a contested link. But why wouldn't they just take it down if it was like a copyright infringement? But so that's weird though that they wouldn't allow the links. So it's a bummer that Tony Rice passed away. I was just watching some videos, and he was one of the ones in the video, and man, he looked old a long time ago. But boy, could he play! And just like, he kind of also, it's funny because he kind of had that face too, like that, like disconnected, bored, don't care. I'm always like, oh my gosh, what am I? I'm on the freaking seat of my pants. Seat of my pants. I'm not sure what the saying I'm trying to say is, but I'm on the edge of my seat when I'm playing. I'm like, like, am I gonna make it? Oh no, I didn't make it. And then I talk about all the kids that play so fast. They're kind of one of the tricks to playing fast. I've determined is that having a continence, even if it's not true, even if on the inside you're panicking, but to have a continence on the outside that you're bored and could care less, because that seems to really physiologically and psychologically disconnect you from stage fright and fear that will make you panic and seize up. Okay, and I talked about that. I did a video on that actually, how to do better on your gigs, because I was trying to get a video that would go viral. It wasn't that good of a video, I guess, but 9-pound hammer. Okay, no, check it out. We'll listen to it in honor. Not now, but I'll do it later. But I was trying to do a video on how to make, if you're, oftentimes we play great in the bedroom, we get to the gig and it's like, oh man, I stunk up the place. I didn't play nearly as good as I did by myself in the bedroom. And so the video was kind of about how to combat that. And stage fright was one of the issues. It was only one of the issues. I don't know if I had 7. My magic number. And then, that video is taken off again. So all of a sudden, it's really popular. It's so fun. I don't know how long that's going to last, but I've been pushing 9, 10, 11,000 views per 48 hours, which is not a bad metric. But then it was like, all of a sudden, I'm seeing lots more comments, and so I'm going, what's going on? And I look at the analytics, and I was getting like 15, 16,000 views per 48 hours. And about 60% of those are 7 tips for older beginners, which is how most of you came to know me. So happy Monday, Sam. I wrote down, so we're going a little bit backwards. Like if we go to the first lesson of the Bluegrass thing, Bluegrass 1 right here, boom. We would learn the G major scale, and I wrote 2 out, just that have the one where we could play the B up high or play the B down on the open string. And then we did the pentatonics, the major pentatonics. We're going to do minor pentatonics next week. And then we added the blues note to the major pentatonics. I call them major blues scales. And today looks like we're regressing, going back to the G major scale, but I'm only doing it a couple reasons. One, to show you the difference between G major and G Mixolydian. And the formula for G major, the same as any major scale, is whole, whole, half, whole, 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 half. And by that I mean a whole step, a whole step, a half step, a whole step, a whole step, a whole step, a half step. Whole, whole, half, whole, whole, half. Okay. And remember tetrachords? We talked about tetrachords. I know some of you may remember that. Tetrachords are whole, whole, half, and another whole, whole, half with a whole step in between them. I don't think my piano's hooked up. Is my piano hooked up? Oh, well, yeah, it can be. Get my glasses out of the way. So there's a G major scale, G Mixolydian scale. As an F natural. Okay, so the reason that sound is there is because I was doing some 80s stuff. Like here, get this. Doing some 80s stuff for a TV show. So I'm just kind of getting some ideas and then manipulating them and making them sound weird. It's what I do. So the reason there's, like I said, there's 2 reasons. One is to show you the difference between G major and G Mixolydian. And if you look at the 2 scales, you can see that when you line them up, G, A, B, C, everything lines up until you get to that F sharp, okay? And so on guitars, and then a Mixolydian, okay? Now, the second reason I'm showing you this is because as I was kind of preemptively trying to write a G Mixolydian song, and we got to come up with a name for it. So help me come up with a name for our G Mixolydian song. I realized G Mixolydian is cool, but this is a truism that can not only go across scales and playing, soloing, and melody writing and songwriting and guitar playing and bass playing and piano playing and every instrument, and it can go across real estate, selling real estate and building airplanes and working at Starbucks. I mean, what oftentimes catches the eye or in this case the ear is the difference. Right? Vive la différence. And I just thought of the context of the original statement. But anyway. So the G major scale sounds one way and the G Mixolydian scale sounds a different way, obviously. But if I was only playing in G Mixolydian, you wouldn't notice that G Mixolydian sounded weird. It would just begin very quickly to sound normal, okay? So if I play the jam track and just play, and I'll try to keep it fairly simple, slow so we can kind of hear it, but I was having a hard time coming up with melody ideas. 2, 3, 4. Okay, if I play G major, it sounds like this. Okay, yeah, I'm just playing little snippets of the scales. Okay, so they both sound cool and they both sound interesting, but the problem is they sound normal after a second if you stick with them. So what I'm going to do when I write the scale, and what we can do too, well, I think we'll even do it today, is if you're with me on this, if you got a guitar in your hand, let me know. I wish you could post pictures. I wish we were almost wish we weren't Zoom, but as long as I can mute you all, because right now you're all muted. But what we can do, what we may do, is just go up and down the scale, up G Mixolydian, or up G major, down to G Mixolydian, and do the opposite. Go up G Mixolydian, and then down G Mixolydian or major. So we'll go alternating, going up one and down the other, and then up one and down the other. And then Dennis, how you feeling, Dennis? How are you and the missus feeling? Hey, Paul, good to see you, man. Man, it just still cracks me up. But it's like Paul and I have known each other since junior high. And our friend, and Paul, you were friends with, I'm Facebook friends with him, Ron Klain, right? He's the chief of staff for Joe Biden. He was chief of staff for Joe Biden back when Joe Biden was vice president, and he was chief of staff for Al Gore when Al Gore was vice president. He's been in Washington for a long time. Hello, sir. Good. I am well. I'm better now that I have my coffee. So the interesting thing is that I discovered was that G Mixolydian sounds really cool if you've been playing G major. So if you've been throwing down that F sharp every now and then, it really makes that F natural sound much more bluesy and much more revolutionary and counterculture and like it's like a middle finger to your parents. It's like the F sharp is making your parents breakfast in bed, and the F natural is flipping them off. So that's basically my analogy for the day. Hey, maybe that's the name of the song, right? Flipping off the parents. I think that's what we're gonna call it. Okay, I gotta write that down somewhere. Help me remember that. You guys gonna help me remember that? See, I crack myself up. Sweet Home Alabama, D Mixolydian, yes. Yes. Exactly. Yes. And that's same true of any song that does. That, What I Like About You, Cherry Baby, ROCK in the USA, there's 1,000 songs that do that chord progression, even that rhythm. I'm surprised people haven't been suing. And so, Ron Klain was my high school class president. And we're Facebook friends. It's funny because I was looking at our Facebook relationship, and the last time we actually messaged back and forth was when I went, dude, I said, Kevin Spacey's playing you. Kevin Spacey's playing you in a movie, and he goes, yeah, it was Recount. Kevin Spacey was playing him in the movie Recount. And he said, yeah, because Chris Farley wasn't available. Actually made my wife spit her coffee out. So, okay, so help me remember that. Flipping off the parents. Flipping off the parents, right? That's the name of the song. All right. So when we play this F sharp, it sounds a little bit more, you know, like I said, a little bit more. It sounds happier. Sounds more, you know, in the key, obviously. I'm sorry. But what I like about you, that chord progression. Sorry, Sam. I guess I sidetracked myself as always. You would really play like an E blues or something over that in E Mixolydian. You wouldn't, even though the song, every one of those songs is in the key of A, technically 3 sharps. You would definitely not play in A. You would be having a hard time finding good solo notes if you were thinking A major or A major pentatonic, or even A blues would be the worst. Now, some of those songs, the B sections may go to the B chord. So then you would have more of an E major thing. I think what I like about you might, but any song like that, that's E, A, D, A, that's technically, you're going to want to play E over it. And it took me a while. Like, I played in a band, and the sax player, he didn't understand that. When he would solo, he would like go, well, this song's in the key of A, so I'm going to solo in the key of A. I'm like, not going to work. And one of the means tests you can do is, what chord does it want to end on, right? It doesn't want to end on A. Right? It's going to end on an E chord. So that's the key. That's what you solo over. That's what everybody's expecting to hear. Okay, so we've got this G major scale. Let's review this together. Okay, we're going to play the G major scale, and we'll play it ascending, descending. We're going to go from this G to this G. Okay, we're not going to worry about the E and the F sharp on the bottom here. Okay, so we're going to, and I play it a million times. We're not worrying about these notes that I'm playing over and over and over again. Oh, and I got a new toy. You can see just the headstock of it. So I'll show you that in a little bit. Okay, so oh, Cats in the Cradle. Ooh, challenging. Okay, so 3rd fret, and then open A, 2nd fret, 3rd fret, open D, 2nd fret, 4th fret with the pinky, open G, 2nd fret A, open B, 1st fret, 3rd fret, open, 2nd fret, 3rd, and then backwards 3, 3, 2, 0, 3, 1, 0, then 2, 0. That was for Holly. And then 4, 2, 0. And then 3, 3, 2, 0. Brain just shut off. It's neither, Dennis. And then 3. In fact, brand-wise, I've never owned an instrument made by this company. Okay, so I'm gonna put this jam track on and see if you can hear us. Just kind of mess around with it. Okay, so I'm just like literally just noodling. That's noodling. That's just playing around in the scale, mixing it up. Of course, I'm going really fast, but you can just do that over the jam track, and you can just kind of hear the nuance. You can even just play it just to scale up and down if you want. Okay, so the G Mixolydian scale, all we're going to do is we're going to take the F sharps, and we're not going to worry about this one. We're going to take the F sharps and move them down to F. Okay, so we've got this. Now we don't have our pinky anymore. So I think G Mixolydian may be Holly's favorite scale. Look, Mom, no pinky. We could also call it that. Now, flipping off the parents, I think, is got to be the name of the... I hope my melody will justify that. We'll see. Okay, so Mixolydian scales always sound like a major scale until you get to that last note. Okay, it's like re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, o, ta, do. I think it's ta. I think the flat of T is ta. So that would be fixed. Well, fixed do. Hey, Max, what's going on? Flying the bird. So here we have 3rd fret on the bottom, and again, then we're going to go same as G. We're going to go G major. We're going to go 0, A, B, C, 0, 2, 3, and then again 0, 2, 3. So we have some symmetry here. D string. Yeah, it's like that. That 7th gives us that old-time rock and roll kind of thing going on. So we have open, D string, then 2nd finger on the 2nd fret, and then 3rd finger, and there's our F natural. That's what makes this sound different than a major scale. Okay, there's the F sharp, but that's what we want, okay? And then go on, open G, 2nd fret is A, open B, 2nd fret, 3rd fret, open open E string, and then 1st fret, and 3rd fret. Okay, and there's our F and G. So, and then backwards. So let's play that last part, the 2nd octave. So start open G, A, 2nd fret, and open 1, 3, open 1, 3, and then backwards. Hey, Deru, what's going on? 3, 1, 0, 3, 1, 0, 2, 0. 3, 2, 1. 3, 2, 0. 3, 2, 0. And then 3. All right? So let's play up the G major scale, and we're going to play down the G Mixolydian scale. So here we go. G, open, 2nd, 3rd, open, 2nd. The F sharp here, reach out and get the 4th with your pinky. Open G, 2nd. Open B, 1st, 3rd, D, and then open E, F sharp, 2nd fret, and then 3, and then backwards, 3, 1. Now we're going to go down the Mixolydian. We're going to go down and flat that F, F sharp to F. F, 1st fret, open E, 3, 1, 0, 2, 0. Okay, that's easy. And then 3, 2, 0. 3, 2, 0, and 3. All right. Now, why did I do that? Well, because what I want you to do, what I want you to do is practice the scale going up the major and down the Mixolydian. Okay? And then you could go up the Mixolydian and down the major. Sounds kind of weird. It almost sounds like you're making a mistake. But the reason we're doing that is I want you to be able to kind of go back and forth between those two modes kind of at will. And at first it's going to have to be in practice, and then later you can make it at will. Alex got me a vintage bar slide for Christmas. It's one of my gifts. And this is Steven's one. I really like these. I bought one that I thought I'd like, but it's really light. This one's very heavy. And so this one stays in the studio. Because I have a dobro and a I have that set up as a dobro, but it's really a don't forget to like. But I have it set up as a dobro right now, but it's really a resonator guitar. So it can actually be played. My dobro, which I don't think you've ever seen, is a square neck. So you can't, and I don't even think it has frets, and the nut's really high. So it's made to be played on your lap with a slide. But that one's actually made to be played like a guitar. But I like the sound of it as a dobro. I don't really have a reason to play it like a guitar. So anyway, just that was because I noticed this. It was a squirrel over there beckoning me. So let's see here. All right. So what happens when you go to the... Well, here's an interesting thing. Okay, I'm going to show you the thing you want to see. The thing is, what is that F natural? Okay, the F sharp to the G is kind of a weird note. We really wouldn't sit on the F sharp anyway. We would lead to G using the F sharp, or right. We've done that. But we wouldn't be sitting on it. So the F sharp is a major seventh of the G, which is totally not, is about the most un-bluegrass chord you could play. Right? There's no less bluegrass chord than a major seventh. I don't know. So, doesn't mean you can't play the F sharp over the G though, but you usually want to be going somewhere. I like doing, like over the G, you can go, right? I'm not doing cross picking there. I was actually doing pure alternating. And also, this is a very, very fun classic bluegrass lick that we probably were going to get to eventually anyway. But so take your second finger instead of the finger you would use to flip off your parents. Take that finger and put it on the F sharp here where you normally would put your pinky, okay? And then, but arch it so that the G string is ringing out, okay? And we're gonna hammer on, okay? We're gonna hammer on the G, and then we're gonna play the open G. So we have redundancy here, we have two G notes. Hammering on that note and then going back and forth between the two G's. You can hammer on whenever you want to. Like you could do it every time, kind of a banjo-y way, or you can do it more of a folky way where it's... But it's kind of a neat... Oh. Let's see. Oh, I didn't. But it is not. I'll put it up now. I can do it right now. Where's Discord? Here's Discord. Patience, prudence. Okay, I got to go to Tom's bookmarks. All right. Guitar how to play scales tutorial. Oh, somebody's been posting stuff in Tom's bookmarks. Let's see. I don't know if we want things posted there. It should be just Tom's bookmarks and Bruce's thing. So maybe pull these out. No offense, that could go elsewhere. All right, so I don't know if somebody wants to take care of that. I'm not going to do it right now, but all right. So here's that Mixolydian right here, and it is now there. I can drag the major there if you want again. So it's there. Let's see, open. This is it here. Yeah, I can drag that one in there so you have them together so you don't have to go hunting. All right, that makes sense? All right, now I gotta click away from this, otherwise it's gonna be blipping. Blip, 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 blip. Yeah, so just for future reference, I don't know who posted that stuff there. So Tomo, somebody tomorrow, or Tommy said, wasn't me, who posted that stuff. We probably should keep that pure, just stuff that I post, and then Bruce's updates of the thing. There's other forums there that you could post stuff in, songs and whatever. Oh, you did that just now? You can allow Bruce, or Bruce can send it to me and then I can post it too. That's the other thing. It doesn't matter. Hey, Dash, what's going on? Thanks, Dennis. I appreciate that, man. Okay, so and then the F sharp over the C is that sharp 11. So again, in some ways, both those F sharps and both the first two chords, the two main chords of the jam, are like, they're happy. It's a happy note, but it reminds me of Stairway to Heaven, right? And so, but that sharp 11 is that movie, the movie trick, the film score trick to make people cry, So it's like, well, yeah, okay. So the F sharp's okay. Now over D, the F sharp is great. The F sharp is the third of the chord. There's three notes in a D chord. It's D, F sharp, and A. So it totally fits, right? Okay, but let's talk about the F natural and what it presents. Well, over the G chord, it creates a dominant seventh sound, which is it's that right there, that dominant seventh sound. How to get your fingers to stretch out, right? I've showed you this, right? How much wider my reach is with my left hand than my right hand. It's because of things like that. But that F natural just sounds great over the G. I'm quoting a lot of songs today, aren't I? And the charts for the three songs are all in Tom's bookmarks, yes. Thanks to you, when artists refer to Mixolydian, now I know that they're talking about flat 7 on major. Yep. And that's exactly what we're doing. Yep. Do artists really refer to Mixolydian? I don't think Justin Bieber's ever said the word Mixolydian. Although if I do show him something on guitar, I usually show him something that's like, I'm usually trying to freak out the other guitar player in the band, so that I show them a lick or something like that, and they'll be like, "Wait, what'd you just do?" One of those licks, Okay, so let's see. So the F is the dominant seventh, okay, and that's a great sound. Even though it's out of key, okay. We're talking about, well, wait a minute, we're in the key of G. Why are we playing G Mixolydian? Yeah, well, it's just because it creates a tension that's just as cool. It's a big FU to your parents. The song is good. If you're just joining us, we're kind of trying to come up with a song title for this week's song, which I haven't written yet, and it's going to be using the G Mixolydian scale, but I'm going to use the G major both. In fact, I may bracket it so that you can see where it's major and minor. That's going to take some extra time. But the idea is that Mixolydian doesn't sound particularly weird unless it's going up against the major. And I said G major is like bringing your parents breakfast in bed. G Mixolydian is like flipping them off. And that's too long of a title for a song. So I think just flipping off the parents is going to be the title. Which I don't know if I ever flipped off my mom or dad. I know I didn't flip off my dad. That would have been suicide. You imagine? How many of you would have been killed if you flipped off your dad? My mom would have just cried. I know I said F you to my mom. I know I said that. Although my rebellious youth lasted all of like 17 minutes. It was pretty short. As opposed to my sisters. They both had a lot longer rebellion than I had. Margarita mix. We're about the margarita mix. Okay, so now the F over the C chord is the sus4. So it's like it has has that kind of Wild West kind of. So it really kind of fits. It has a kind of a wide open frontier kind of vibe over the C chord. Okay. In fact, I can. Oh shoot! I have to open up a different. Let me see if I have it here. I do have it somewhere. What's it called? Simple Bluegrass. Here we go. So I have to open it up so that I can bracket one chord, just have one jam. It gets boring, but I want you to be able to hear how the chord, the notes are in the context of the individual chords. So I'm going to go ahead and play those individual chords. Tony, good morning. Good to see you. Oh, you got your coffee. Everybody get their libations here. If you're in Europe, they can be frothy libations, but actually, I had a band in high school called Frothy Libations. Cheers. That's one of the rules, too. All right, let's see. I may have already bracketed. Let's see, I made it 100? Yeah. Oh, I did. Okay, so this is just a G chord. So let me show you what the... It sounds very fiddly when you play like the majors do, like patterns. And that was just groupings of 4. Right? It's beautiful. I mean, G major scale works great over this. Okay, now I'm going to go to the Mixolydian. You're going to hear how it sounds. It's going to sound. This is going to be more of the in the leading to the flipping off your parents' realm. And you can still do the same grouping, like the string grouping exercises, not note groupings of 3. Or 4. Hear that? Okay, so that has a definitely different sound. Now let me go back and forth between the two, and you can see what happens when you hear one and then you hear the other. Because one stops sounding counter-revolutionary when you just hear the Mixolydian. The Mixolydian will sound counter-revolutionary when you hear it against the major. See that? Okay, so it's really happy. Like Steve Martin playing banjo. But it sounds much more bluesy when you go to that Mixolydian. But it sounds more bluesy because you just came from the major. All right. So this is, like I said, this is a truism no matter what. This is a truism in art and the visual arts, in music. This is it's true in literature. It's true in film. It's it's the contrast thing. It's the tension thing that we talk about all the time. You're trying to create tension, and then the tension gives way gets resolved. So, yeah, you would think that this is my second cup of coffee, wouldn't you, Holly? I am so full of it this morning. Snippets, yes, those are kind of snippets. Those are, and so those patterns, they're great exercises. They actually do sometimes sound like I hear them, every now and then. I hear them a lot in melodies and stuff. And I may throw, I don't know, but see, again, the melody is going to be eighth notes at 100. It's going to be, that's going to be pretty slow. So here's 100, eighth notes. Sorry. So it's not, eighth note, 1, 1, 2, 3, those are quarters, 1, 2, 3, 4, eighth notes, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. So there's not, it won't be too fast. And you can even slow it down on YouTube. This is not YouTube. Okay, now the next chord is C. So let's listen to the Mixolydian over the C, and that lick we did over the G, that was kind of the folky thing, still works over the C. It has a totally different sound. That F sharp just doesn't sound good to sit on, but it's fine to go to. But it just sounds like I'm playing. Now this sounds like Lydian. See, when I'm playing G major superimposed over a C chord, it just sounds like C Lydian. Again, it sounds like either Stairway to Heaven bridge section or like some kind of dramatic movie score. But the F natural that comes from the G Mixolydian sounds much better over to my ears, sounds much better over the C. Try that at home. Hey, Trinidad. So Trinidad, what I'm doing is I'm just playing over the C chord now. Just one chord I'm playing over. And I'm playing the G major scale. And it sounds very kind of weird, mystical, kind of like a movie score. The G Mixolydian scale sounds better over the C chord. Much more bluegrassy. That was the minor. Yeah, probably because it's just the one chord. The G over the C sounds like belly dancing. Yeah, and again, the problem with doing this, like sitting on one chord, is that the context is taken away, right? There's no context there, so you don't know that the song is really in the key of G. You know, because if I went back and forth between G and C, then you might hear more of the context. Right? Now it won't sound so much like that. But I'm going back and forth now between G major and Mixolydian, okay? That might be in the song. And my belly's not dancing. All right, so okay, now over the D chord, I'm going to bracket just the D chord, which is the 5 chord in the progression. Here's that, what that sounds like. Okay, now listen to the G major sounds great. The D major just sounds like D Mixolydian over the. Don't worry about it, there won't be a quiz on this. Okay, and you can order a shirt. I uploaded some white on black or white on different colors and stuff. You can choose different colors now. And I changed the font. So I don't know. Let me know if you like the shirt design. Okay, so this is. I'm just playing G major over D. And it just sounds D Mixolydian. It's the same as D Mixolydian. Okay, now I'm going to go to G Mixolydian over D. And that's going to be technically, again, no quiz on this. I gotta hold up the. I don't want to break my ears. There won't be a quiz on this. Sorry. There we go. So the G Mixolydian over D sounds like. It sounds very bluegrassy to me. This is really. When you go back and forth between the G major and the G Mixolydian, you really do hear the difference because you have that F sharp becoming an F, and it goes from being more kind of inside to more outside, and the outside creates more tension or a little bit more bluesy or a little bit more flipping off your parents kind of sound. Then back inside. And again, there's no context. So if you didn't know you were in the key of G, it just might sound kind of weird. So let me go and do G. See, that sounds a lot better now. So that G Mixolydian, yes, that's right. So that F natural is the flat third as opposed to the F sharp, which is we're not afraid of. We've been doing it. We did it all last week, right? We added the flat third to every one of the major pentatonic scales to create that, you know. to create those classic bluegrass licks. I got to turn around. I'm hearing the chords backwards. Okay, let me stop this. It's annoying. Hopefully you were able to hear both the track and the guitar, my guitar. Okay, I guess so. Oh yeah, I wonder if I do have a logo. Emma did do a logo for me. I could see if I can get. I wonder if Guitar Picks is one of the options at Teespring. Let me look real quick. I can do that. Let's see. That's a great. I didn't even think about Guitar Picks. Phone cases, socks, mugs, accessories. So it might be under accessories. Of course, the guitar pick thing is a little harder. I could probably go to a separate site. Apparel accessories would be like phone cases. They have digital things too. I don't know what those. I'm not gonna. I mean, I guess I could do digital stuff, but oh wait, is this it? Yeah. Hats, pins, keychains, hilarious. Fanny packs. Oh my gosh. Patches. There is pouches. Oh, funny. Face mask. Did I do a face? I didn't do a face mask because it looked like I didn't want it to like suddenly say something really wrong. You know, there won't be a quiz on this suddenly becomes, F you, mom. Because when I was looking at, there won't be a quiz on this in, where am I? Here we go. On the face mask, it said there won't be a quiz on this, but it showed that the folds of the mask might not be even, and so you might not see all the letters. So it kind of looks like it could spell something else. You have been nagging for picks. The only thing is, what I need, Dennis, is I need a site that I can send you to where I've already designed it, and you can just order. They custom order. I don't want to order like 1,000 of them and then have to mail them out one by one. I mean, unless I'm getting $10 a pop or something, which would be silly. I mean, unless they're really good picks, and then they're going to be more than $10 a pop. See, I can't even show you Alex's because this is PG-13. Alex has a custom pick. Let's just say he draws the A in the name Alex a certain way. Such a brat. Such a rebel. That was his way of flipping off his dad. Junior, what's going on? Blues note on Mixolydian. Yeah. It's definitely, the Mixolydian kind of creates a bluesier sound. The bluesiest note, well, there would be two bluesier notes, and we're going to get to those over Mixolydian, or over G, and that would be the B flat, which would be the flat third, and then also the flat 9, which would be D flat. And I use those all the time and it definitely works. Let's see. Okay, thanks, Jeff. I obviously, yeah, and I know places that will do custom logos. That's not the issue. The issue is I want to be able to send you there and order, so you can order one, of whatever it is, of whether it's my mug that Emma created, or whether it's because I do have. She did give. Let's see, where are those? Of course, you can't see them. Oh, I have them somewhere. Oh, here. I think they're here. I mean, this was one possible. Don't fret. I love the little guitar. And then there were two others that she did. Because at the time I was saying, at the beginning of my videos, I say, hey there. So that was kind of my catchphrase, which is not really much of a catchphrase. and it's morphed into. Don't worry, there won't be a quiz on it, or just simply there won't be a quiz on this. But these are probably a little too big for picks. So I may have to have her, well, she's here now. I may have to have her draw up a couple more that are like good for, that I can put on a pick. See, this is Alex's pick facing away from you, but it would be, you know, like a white pick. And he actually, this is the same pick that is his main pick, which is my old main pick, which is the Dunlop Tortex. Let's see if I can find one that's still got the logo. I'm using the, yeah, this was the pick I used probably for 20 plus years. The 1.5. It's funny because they feel weird in my hand now. I've been using these gravity picks, which are more expensive, but they've got a nice rough beveled edge, rough edge on them. They can do a polished edge or a rough edge, and I get the rough edge because I like that sound of the contact of the pick scraping the string a little bit. So it's just kind of been a thing. Now when I was doing the bluegrass stuff, though, I'm using these Wiegand picks, and these are about, I don't know, $15 a pop. And this is a bluegrass. I mean, this is the Gypsy Jazz Wiegand pick. The bluegrass one looks like this. It's kind of cool looking. And this one's great too. I think this one sounds great. I just like this one because I feel like it's a little bit rounder sounding. Okay, all of that, more than you needed to know. Oh, that's fine. Clayton Custom. So I'll pull up that right now. Clayton Custom. Let me see. Like I said, what would be cool is if I could, they would give me a link, and then, you know, I could design something on their website, and then create a link, and then they would custom order, design your pick, create an account. Yeah, so they want, for 100 picks they want $50, so that's 50 cents a pick, right? Just a pick is, well, you could do just a pick, $10. Interesting. This is probably where Alex went because it's Derlin. No thanks. Emma wants to chat. This is not my daughter, Emma. Some other. Okay. Oh, they have the Jazz Sharp picks. So I think they may be the actual picks. I don't think they're copycat picks. So they actually get the picks from the manufacturer, and then they put. Oh, maybe not. White Derlin. Oh wait. Oh, I chose White Derlin because they don't have my size, so maybe not. And I don't know if they would have the gravity picks would be too expensive. I might be able to have gravity picks made, though, to order. I mean, it's supposed to be worth it. I don't know, what would it cost me to send a pick to, just to simply send a guitar pick to Amsterdam, or to Holland, Dennis. Yeah, they might be able to. I mean, I don't know how many I would sell that way, but Barath, this might be a place to start learning, but I can't do the same beginner lesson every day on this live stream. So basically what we're doing right now is we're kind of, I'm trying to keep it fairly simple, and it's kind of up to everybody to try to understand what I'm saying at their level, and then maybe try to get to that next level, micro levels here. But we definitely stick on a subject for a while. This will be the longest we've been on a subject. I think we've already been on this subject this is the 10th lesson, so I've got plans for probably another 10 at least. And then we have to decide what I'm going to learn next. Because I'm learning right alongside of you. So, but you can watch old videos. I have let me give you, Barath, let me post, because I can post links here. Let me post a link to my, what I call my, and I got to clean it up a little bit. But my playlist, I have a basics playlist. But I've been putting the live streams in there, and I need to pull some of those out. So there's too many, right now there's too many videos in the basics list. but I think the top ones in this. So what I've got is I've got different playlists. So check out this, okay? And let me just read some of the titles to you and see if they interest you. Some of the titles of the videos in this are 7 Tips for Older Beginners, 7 Tips to Help You Change Chords Faster, Beginner Edition. And I guess that implies to me I was going to do an advanced one, but I haven't done that yet. And I already know what I was going to do in that. Dang it, I haven't done it. Okay, I forgot about that. That darn F chord. Everybody has a hard time with that F chord, this chord, when they first start playing, and also the B chord or B flat. Intro to guitar improvisation, yeah. Digging deeper into the D chord, but I do not teach songs, just so you know. I don't teach songs. And then there's daily lessons here. I've got to move some of these things. Intro to improvisation episode. Can I just drag this up like this? How do I move these around? I don't want to move to top, but I think, yeah, so what I basically have to do is I have to go through some of these, like the daily lessons. I mean, some of the, you know, I hate to take them out of there, though, because like the daily lesson, the blues basics, that's a good thing. So maybe some of the basic stuff can stay in there. I don't know. But the live stream stuff just kind of, it says I have 123 videos in that, and all these ones that are here are getting moved down too far. Like strumming lesson number 1 should be much higher up. Oh, I should be able to order these. Isn't there a way to order these? Sort. Aha. No. Most popular, maybe? That makes sense. Wow. How to Tune Your 12 String is my 5th most popular video in that series. Wow. So I just ordered them in most popular, which is good. And I talk about capoing and I talk about strumming. Strumming is a really common one. People really like to learn about that stuff too. So. Isn't that crazy, Angelina? Yeah, I hate that whole import tax thing. The government's going to get theirs, right? Ugh. Songs are everywhere. We need more time. Yeah, that's exactly right. If you want to learn a song, you can find 10 guys teaching it, and they're probably right. Or one cute girl teaching it. Those are the actually better ones to watch. Even if she's wrong, it doesn't matter. Stairway to Heaven, she's like, no, just kidding. The chords, the chord shapes. The chords are G. So the G chord, and I don't mind doing that at all because there are definitely some people that are beginners here. The G chord, and the numbers I'm going to place here are the frets, not fingers. Okay? 3rd fret on the bottom string, 2nd fret on the next string, open, open, and then 3rd, 3rd. Or you can also play it old school, 3, 2, 0, 0, 0, 3. Okay? So that's a G chord. The C chord typically you don't play the bottom string. Oops. You play, and C chord could be problematic. You may have a hard time arching your fingers over strings, but that's 3rd fret, 2nd fret, open, 1st fret, and open is the C chord, and that's basically the main one. And then D chord, you don't play the bottom 2 strings. So X, X, that's what that X means don't play that string, and it would be 0, 2, 3, 2, and that's D. Okay, so now you have. There in the chat, you have the kind of the numerology of those 3 chords. All right. Yeah, I don't really need to be much bigger than that, do I? All right. So does that make sense? Hopefully that makes some sense. Yes. And that's the other thing is that the jam track that I was playing to earlier, here's that. You could, in fact, if you look at that, for the entire duration of the jam track are the 3 chords. So go to this page here, and you can see the 3 chords in the thing, you can see the chord progression and you can see the G major scale all written there. So you can practice all of those. And you can totally, if nothing else, you can just take the jam track and practice strumming. And even if it's just C, now go to G again, coming up, go to D. Even if it's just hold notes, you're gaining skills. Being able to change chords fast is a necessity to playing guitar. You're going to have to be able to change from G to C and so on. Okay, thank you, Dennis. See, I did the blues, I did a B flat there. I did to the G chord what we do to the D chord when we're playing G Mixolydian. Okay, yeah, Dennis, I'll check that out. Did you send them to me privately on Discord? Oh, and we have a new instrument reveal today too. I got a new instrument yesterday. Okay, so I'm going to Discord. See, I'm telling you what I'm doing so that. Oh, so you can tell I'm on Discord because the blue boop. All right. Oh, general chat. Okay, is it probably in there? Hey. Yes, that's the new item headstock. Oh, I look sick in that picture there, Gary. Gary's like, what is the new instrument? And yeah, and Barath, that's oh. Holly must have won the lottery. Thank you, Holly. My view count is up too, which is nice. It's interesting. I'm like, ooh, why is the view count up? Let's see. Okay, so that's not where. Did you send it? Was it a private? See, I'm not really good at Discord. I'm not really good at Discord. Is there a private? General chit chat and intros, homework, doing something in the document. Wait, oh, Dennis. Oh, there. Okay, I see. Picks of Destiny. Okay, I got it. I see it. Jeff Height, stop it. No, that's all right. Don't stop. Don't stop till you get enough. Keep on with the force. Don't stop. Okay. Yep, I see the links there. Thank you. So the links to maybe designing a custom pick. What would be nice is maybe a pick that I could have like as a calling card. Actually, they do make the cards that you can punch the picks out of. Those are kind of lame because they got the little tabs, but you can file them off. But on that, you could have more information, right? Okay, and Jeff is asking me a question. Bluegrass seems to use a lot of open strings. What happens? You solo up them. Totally. Oh, yeah, and we are going to talk about that. That's coming. I'm going to do some of that. Yes. The good players definitely implement a lot of open strings, and we're going to talk a little bit about that. And they definitely play up the neck. Right now, for me, the thing that makes bluegrass difficult for me is I'm used to fingering every note that I'm picking, playing scales up and down the neck, which we've been doing for the last, this whole year. I mean, playing G Mixolydian, on up the neck is just, is easy for me. I don't even think about it. But when I have to play it with open strings, Michael, thank you. When I play with open strings, I've got strings that my left hand isn't doing anything, and my right hand is doing. So it does make it more difficult. But yeah, there are things like one of my favorite things to do is to like do these. Really, it came from banjo players, and we're gonna be, like I said, we're gonna be talking about that. And so Wednesday, I hope to have a song that will utilize both these scales. The new scale today is the Mixolydian. Addie, Tony, what's going on? His stimulus check just came in. Yeah. Everybody send me their stimulus check. That's fun. Scotland. Hey, Addie, you're not the only one. We have a couple others from Scotland almost here every day. Yes. Open strings, it's just weird. But like there's certain licks that usually they're easier with finger, or I'll do this one a lot. But they came from banjo players. We do these kind of cool, like, what's it? Right? And so what I'm doing is I'm playing F. I'm playing G, F. I'm just going down. That's all I'm doing. So play that with me. Okay, we're getting off subject a little bit, but I'm using G Mixolydian with a blues note. So play G. And this is a great little ending lick anyway. Okay? But it's G, F, E. Okay, so 3, 1, 0, 3, 1, 0, which is D, C, B, B flat, A, and G. Okay, so we have G, F, open E, D, C, open B, B flat, A, open G. Okay, so what do 1/3 of those notes have in common? Okay, they're open strings. I said open E, open B, and open G. Okay, so now I can play the G and F up here on the second string instead of on the first string, and then I can have that E ring out against that F. And it has that sound. That's one sound. Oh, by the way, I think I'm about ready to start filming my video. This one's gonna be the hardest video I've ever made, though. But I think I'm gonna call it 50 ways to play the same note. Okay, it's gonna be a lot of work. It's gonna be a lot of work. I may try to have Alex help me with it, but I feel bad because he does all this work, and then all he's gonna get is a bunch of guitars when I die. That's all he gets. So, but it sounds one way that way. It sounds totally different when you play it that way. And so, for one thing, I'm pulling off, and then I'm grabbing the open string with my second finger. So, kind of doing what's called hybrid picking. I'm picking and I could use my pick too. Okay. The flat 7 of the major chord is the flat 5 of the relative minor. The relative minor would be E, and you're thinking the flat 3 of the flat 3 of the major is the flat 5 of the relative minor. Yes. But you sometimes overthink things, Jeff, and if you keep putting things in that E minor blues thing, it's going to throw you at one point because you're going to be like, oh, I'm in E blues, and you're going to like do some crazy cool E blues lick that doesn't work over G or C or D. So that's where you get a little bit of trouble if you over. But what you're trying to do is you're trying to take this information over here and this new information and make it make sense. And I get that, and I do that too. So. But maybe you should. Now, if you're talking about, and we will be doing the flat 5 over the That's what I knew what you meant. So, Addie, you have come at the right place. We learned from the very talented professional, and really, who's that? And have fun with fellow subscribers. Join Tom's Discord channel. Yeah, and I'm not at the Discord very often, so if you're going there to interact with me, you're not going to find me there very often. I'm interacting enough right now, so, and this is good for me. Okay. All right, so let's see. Thank you, Dennis. I'm not the first to say you overthink. Yeah, you're married, right? Trust me, I overthink everything. So, how many sleepless nights have we had because we're overthinking some stupid thing? Playing 6,000 different conversations, like how's this going to go tomorrow? And it didn't go like any of the conversations you had in your head. It's like, oh man. Thank you, Addie, joining the server. So yeah, so just let's go ahead and do the G major scale ascending, and I'll tell you what, let's do the G Mixolydian scale ascending and descend the G major. Okay, so we're going to start on the bottom scale here. Hold on. So we're going to start on the bottom scale here. Okay. I'm tired of being wrong with this stupid pointing thing. And then we're going to end up on we're going to come down. We're going to descend that, okay? So bottom, third finger on the bottom string. Angelina, can you play this? Are you able to actually play scale slowly? I may be going too fast for it. I apologize. But go to the Discord. And you can download these diagrams and print them up, and then you can go at them at your own pace. And hopefully those chords, the chord diagrams that I gave you too, were helpful. Okay, so we're going to go. What did I say? Go up the Mixolydian. Here we go. G, and then next string, open A, second fret, third fret, open D, second fret, third fret, open G, Peter Anderson, second fret, open B, first fret, third fret, open, first fret, third fret. And that was G Mixolydian, had the F natural. Now we're going to go back down, G, we're going to go to the F sharp. And then open E, D, C at the first fret, second string, open B, second string, second fret, third string, open. And we're going to reach out here and get that F sharp with a pinky. Okay, sorry, Holly. Fourth fret, and then second finger on the E note, which is the second fret of the fourth string, and open fourth string. Then we go third fret on a fifth string, second fret, open A, and then finish with G. And again, G Mixolydian sounds like G major until you get to that note right there. Until you get to the seventh. You can, even looking at it right here, dang it, right here, you can see that the difference doesn't occur until you get to that seventh, what's called the seventh degree of the scale, the seventh note of the scale. Seventh degree. You know how academics create new words all the time, right? They just constantly create these new words all the time so that you can't understand what they're saying, and you have to go to college to learn what they're saying. It's stupid. It's like job security BS. I hate it. Loner God. Hey, brother, what's going on? Yeah, I'm always giving you a hard time, Pinky, Holly. So what's the name of the song I'm writing? It's Flipping Off the Parents. Is that what it's going to be called? Flipping Off the Parents. Okay, so I'm going to try in that song. I'm going to try to stick to G major scale and G Mixolydian, and probably what I'm going to go. Can I play a passenger? Let her go? I don't know. Yeah, you know the Mixolydian G. Yeah, it's cool. It's a cool scale. And Mixolydian, you know, here's the problem. We're learning open position scales, which are not transportable. They don't transpose easy. When we were learning, you know, scales like this, the cool thing is that we were learning, you learn one scale And you can go back into lessons, and like if you go to the modes, I think the modes lessons we talked about. If you learn one scale, you can just move it up a fret. You're in another key. You know, that's A flat Mixolydian. Here's A. But the problem with doing in the bluegrass, what we're doing here is we're really highlighting open scales, and so we won't have that advantage of multiplying our knowledge, which I love to do. But in this context, when we have open strings, really, it's not the same thing. Yeah, I don't. Sorry, Loner. I don't do song lessons because I don't want to. I've gotten copyright strikes in the past. Well, I've contested every one of them, and I've won every one of them because somewhere I played a melody inadvertently, you know, and I just say, you know, look at the video. I'm not saying here's how you play Stairway to Heaven and then I play it. I'm like literally playing something, and you know, I wouldn't inadvertently play Stairway to Heaven, but somebody is claiming they have these computers that create a billion melodies, and then they register them all with YouTube, and then they go around and just try to snag money from everybody that's creating content saying that's their song, and it's total BS. So sorry about that, Loner God. So basically, I talk more about how to make music and rather than how to play other pre-existing music, if that makes sense. Okay, so it's about time to change guitars here and show you the new instrument I got. And again, for those of you who are new, and I do see a lot of new people, and you know what? I haven't been looking at the stats. What are we looking at here? 43. Okay, analytics. Oh, okay, well, not bad. 48 peak so far. Again, it's climbing as we go. I don't think people. Thanks, Loner. I don't think people are getting notifications. I think a lot of my subscribers turned off notifications because I'm live streaming so much. If I was only live streaming once a week, or if I was only posting videos once a week, I think I would have far more viewers. I gotta get these ears untangled. Hold on. Careful. All right. Now, so I've got to change songs here. Let me pull up a different song. Let's see. Okay, this one. All right, so it's gonna make some poppy noises, but don't be afraid. Hey, Catherine. God, you missed it. It was the best lesson I've ever taught. Now you're gonna have to go back and watch the whole thing. Hook is in the house. So, one of the jobs I do, probably my biggest source of income, is not YouTube videos, is writing music. And I write a lot of music for TV, and hopefully that continues to, we'll know as my royalties come in, that hopefully that continues to be a source of income, a major source of income. And then also I write songs with pop artists or pop writers. And that's just kind of icing on the cake. I wouldn't say, you would think it's funny because I write music for TV, and when I'm hanging out with the pop people and they find out that I write music for TV, they go, oh, that's where the money's at. Yeah. You know, and I'm like, okay. And then when I'm hanging out with the TV people and they say, you write songs with Justin Bieber. Well, that's where the money's at. I'm like, okay. I'm like, when is the real money going to show up? You know? So, and I'm fine with God giving me my daily bread. You know, I'm actually afraid of yearly bread because I'm afraid I might turn into an asshole or something. Oh, whoops. And now it's PG-13. Streetwise, what's up? And so that is probably a majority of my income. I also play at churches on the weekend, or my church on the weekend, and they pay me. Sometimes I don't let them, and or often don't let them. And then session work is another main source of income for me. And session work basically means playing music that somebody else has written, and whether it's playing on a pop record. Peter, thank you so much. Merry Christmas to you too. Whether it's playing on a pop record, but more likely I'm playing in movies, TV shows. Sometimes TV shows, that's a kind of that died. Like the TV session work thing died. I can tell you the story about that, but most of the people that were doing a lot of session work on TVs. Now, it's ironic because back in the day, in the 60s and 70s, when there was a lot of session work for TV, but basically it was all live musicians. I mean, you listen to Love Boat, or you listen to Mannix, or you listen to Beverly Hillbillies, or any of those, the Brady Bunch. All that music was played by live musicians, union sessions, all that stuff. And there were only 3 networks, and it was a lot of work for a very few small number of people. Today, there are 500 cable channels or something like that, and then there's streaming, and it's insane how much music is being created in the television context, episodic context. But really, for the most part, whoever's doing the music, 90% of the time they're doing all of the playing. So when I write music for television, I'm doing all the playing. So very rarely does someone, I played on one TV show last year that was a union thing, that was a show that I wasn't writing for. So I have a lot of music on like Discovery Channel and all these other OWN network and stuff like that, MTV. But this was a Fox show, and it was called Filthy Rich, and I did some different guitar things on it. So that's a minor TV work, other than stuff I write from TV, is a minor source of income. Movies, I do a lot more movie sessions, and then gaming is really, I've said it, we're going to take a sip. I do all the guitars on Apex Legends. In fact, I was just talking to the composer yesterday, and he's sending me some more music this week to add my guitars to. And I'm working on a new game for Austin Wintry, who just, there's a game out called Pathless that I played oud and lute on. And some of the hardest oud playing I've done, I'll check this out. It's holy cow. But it's cool. You can follow along with the music on this to see what I did. And I recorded that here. All these sessions I do from home. Austin Wintry. And I work with him on pretty much every score he does. So this is, let's see. 1 week ago. Here it is. This thing is insane. I got to be careful that we don't get a copyright here. I don't want it to play. I don't want to have it play. But check this out. It's actually really amazing music. But you can see, I played oud, and I think there's lute on this too. But you can see the chart. Like his assistant Dallas puts together these videos, and they just look great. So you can follow along with the score and listen to it. And this is a video game, and it's full orchestra and oud, and it's crazy. So I do a lot of that kind of work. And oud is a new instrument for me. And so that's what brings me to the, you're like, what's your point, Tom? Okay, that's what brings me to this point. I'm always looking for, I ordered 2 new instruments from India that are coming. So I'm getting 2 new a tumbi, and then the other one, I forget what it's called. I don't know if the other one I'm going to ever use, but we'll see. The tumbi I will definitely use. And I'll show you that one when I get it. It's a 1-string fretless instrument. So it's really funny. It's cool though. It's a really cool instrument. Oh yeah, you've got an SG. I've got an SG too. Yeah, it's usually hanging back there. But so I'm always looking for instruments that I don't have. And so I went to Guitar Center last week and I'm scanning. And I'm not talking about like, I'm looking to get, I would love to get a Fender Jaguar. I don't have a Fender Jaguar. I have the Bass 6, and that was when I realized, ooh, the Bass 6 is a 6-string guitar, an octave down guitar. And I've showed it to you before. Bass 6, in fact, it's one of my more popular. Hey, Mr. Choco. A Tanglewood? Tanglewood, is that right? Tanglewood. Is it Tanglewood? It sounds familiar. And so I'm not necessarily talking about brands of guitars that I don't have, but I would like to get a Jaguar at some point. And I was looking for one. They're not very common. You don't see them very. Jazzmasters and Jaguars, you see lots of Fender Strats and Tellys at stores, but you don't see a lot of. And I don't want a vintage one. I wouldn't mind a used new one or a brand new one. But anyway, maybe a Japanese one would be fine. But I really kind of like the pickup configuration, the sounds that I was getting out of that Bass 6. And I thought, oh, that would be cool to have a guitar that I could use that way. I have a feeling it's going to be noisy, though. That's the only downside with single coil pickups. Okay, that said, I was at Guitar Center, and I was looking around, and I'm like, what don't I have? And I did have this in mind, was one of the things that I was looking for. And I went, oh, you know what? And I picked it up, and it was the only one in the store. It was used. It was the only one in the store, and I picked it up. It was used, and it actually played great, sounded great. It was only $400. I went, okay, you can't beat it. List for new. It's a fretless bass. So let me check this out. I don't have a fretless bass, and I realized I have. Now keep in mind, I've been playing a lot of oud lately. Toombi is also fretless. And I had my ukulele made fretless. So I did not have a fretless bass. And I thought there would be some, I was hoping I could use the it's really hard to get. That's the EBow. EBow string spacing things are for guitars, not for basses, so it's really hard to get an EBow to work on bass. But I thought I could use. And right now I have a harmonizer on it. Let me take off the octave thing, but that's to get that sledgehammer sound. Oh yeah. That's the bass part from Sledgehammer. It's fun. But here's the. But it just has a very cool sound to it that I don't have. I'm always looking for sounds I do not have. It's kind of fun. Let's see. So am I getting comments here? Let's see. Nice. Oh, you got a Squire Affinity Telly Special Butterscotch Blonde. Yeah, that's like my Telly up there is Butterscotch Blonde. I love that. That Telly's that's a Japanese Telly. It's such a good, it's a 94, I'm sorry, 94. It's a 54 reissue. Let's see. Jaguar is nice. Resophonic, yep. And I have that with a string lifter. So that's the, let me give you a link for that one. I can give you a link for both the string lifter and, let's see, Amazon. Let's see, what was it? Gretsch, was it Boxcar? Yeah, there it is. Mine has a pickup in it, which is really pretty cool. So there's, I've used it before to create some good sounds. But this is kind of what I have. Oh, this is the bobtail square neck. Here's the this is it doesn't have the pickup. That's this one here. And so what I did was, you can play it like a guitar. It's got, oh no, this is square neck. Boop, no, don't want that one. Hold on. I don't want to send anyone to the wrong. That's square neck also. Okay, where's the round neck? Here's the round neck. All right, let's see. Only one left in stock, but they're ordering soon. So this is the round neck one, and this is the one without the pickup, I think. So you can just check it out. If you buy it, I get a little percentage, by the way. But or if you do any Amazon shopping through that link, I get a little love chunk, little piece of percentage. No, I would not build a DIY guitar. I'm very paranoid about working with tools. First off, I've had some accidents. I've hurt my hands in the past, and I'm not very good at it. I'm really bad at soldering. I don't have, and it requires some of it doesn't require a lot of work. Like an electric guitar doesn't. You can just buy the parts and put it together. Although a tumbi I could make myself. Those are not. I saw someone with a kit on how to make that. You can get here's a round neck. Do I have? I need to get a case for mine. You know what? I need to get a case for this. Let's see. I don't know if that fits. No, that's not the right case. This one's kind of cool. This is the silver one, but this one's. I mean, this is like the chrome one. This one's $900, so it's pretty expensive. And I don't know. Does it have a pickup in it? See, they don't have a picture where you can see the jack. Let's see. So I have to go hunting. Oh, really? Mojatone solos is the way. There you go. Well, maybe. Although, you know, I got so many electric guitars. You know, maybe, but. And then what was the other? Oh, the string lifter. Okay, so string lifter. What was it called? Wasn't called. Let's see, string. Dobro. Converter. Dang it! What was that thing called? I can't remember. This is a slide. What was that thing called? Now I bought one. Was it last year? I think I bought one last year, so I can go through. I got 1 million purchases though. Gosh, but they're basically the. You can take. Actually, you could do this to any guitar, and I've got an electric guitar with it on it. But what it does is it lifts you just loosen the strings, and you put this on the nut, and under the strings, and it lifts them up so you can play slide without hitting the frets at all. Okay, and it makes it. It actually gives it more of that dobro sound too, because the strings are way up off the, so you don't have any risk of hitting the frets with your slide. Just not seeing it. Maybe I bought it earlier this year. Oh, no, here it is. See, okay, so this is $10. So you can take this and add this to any guitar, acoustic or electric, and turn it into a kind of a dobro type guitar. It's very cool, and it's a string lifter thing. Okay, so I'm the dude on the oud, yeah. Yeah. So I'm trying to think if I could play over something. Oh, yeah. What's the track I got here that I... No, not this one. Oh, I think I could do something like over this. This is, like I said, the 80s stuff. Oops, what? Yeah, it's easier to play fretless with a track too, just because you're constantly having to tune. I don't really look. I try not to look. I just more listen. So it's really critical to hear yourself on fretless bass. But when I'm just using this in the studio, this is not like for gigging or anything like that. And it's both, to do stuff like that. In fact, I may even use this on the Apex Legends stuff, because I do a lot of chromatic like slides. Do a lot of chromatic slide kind of stuff, and that's why I like using the EBow, and kind of with lots of effects. It sounds crazy, you know. So it's just impending doom kind of sounds. And that's one of the tricks of oud too. Is the bottom three strings of an oud basically are D, G, A. So you have 1, 4, 5 in the key of D. D major, D minor, whatever. And so a lot of times they'll hit one of those notes and let it ring while they play against it. And that allows them to tune to that open string. See you later, Jim. Is this loud? Oh, it probably is, because this is bass. Anything bass is going to be more resonant in the room. So anyway, that's one of my new instruments. I may order. What's today? Dang, I got to get on this. When's the end of the year? Oh gosh, I got to get on this. I forgot Friday is the last day of the year, and it's a holiday. Right? Friday. Let's see. No, today's 28, 29, 30. Thursday's the last. Right, Thursday's the last day of the year. I can't let it get away from me. I'm probably going to go ahead and order that hurdy-gurdy. Even though I was told, and I hope you all took a sip when I changed guitars. Even though I was told it would be a 1.5 year wait to get the hurdy-gurdy. That's crazy, huh? So I'm basically putting down a parts deposit. I'm not going to pay for the whole thing. I was going to pay for the whole thing in advance for the tax write-off, but if I'm going to wait 1.5 years, I don't want to risk that kind of money because it's not cheap. And I'm still trying to say, would I really play a hurdy-gurdy? That's the box you crank and you play it's like a violin. It's like a violin played like a piano. And it's literally a 800-year-old instrument. They used to make them for 2 people. It predates organs at churches. They used them at churches to play hymns. Crazy, huh? But there's some score work that I might be able to get if I could play it. There are not many guys in town that can play it. So, although more and more, I'm sure. I should probably look up in the union and see, in the union book, and see how many hurdy-gurdy players there are and go, oh, shoot, okay. Oh, those guys, oh, okay, well, they're not going to call me. So, am I going to slap some Seinfeld? That's actually a sampler. It's so funny. There's a video, Streetwise, of Michael Wolff that was the composer for that show? Crazy, too, because I think when that show went into syndication, he got paid $5 million just for the rights to use his music for 5 years. That wasn't the royalties. That was just for the rights to use his music in syndication for 5 years. And he retired. He retired, and knowing that he was also going to be making money in syndication from the royalties. And then 5 years later, they had to renegotiate. He probably got just as much. So, yeah, fretless basses do sound cool. Yeah, I did play on Apex Legends. I did all the guitars you hear on Apex Legends. That's me. Basses too. We've been having a lot of fun. We did some cool stuff on this last one. I don't know if the character is dropped yet, so I can't talk about it. They make me sign anything, but yeah, I don't write the music. Although the composer is really cool, he gives me writer's credit on him, which is sweet of him, because I do contribute quite a bit to the sonic landscape of the. Oh, you were fishing. Sorry, I thought you were like, wow, you play. It was like the first time for you. No, it's funny because the Bieber stuff is like, people are like, yeah, whatever. But then when some of the kids, you think, oh, the kids are going to think the Bieber thing's cool. Like, no, not cool. No, the cool thing is for them is like Apex, like, oh, you play Apex Legends. And the new game is called The Pathless. I posted that video, but it's called The Pathless is the name of the game. I haven't played it. I don't have a gaming console. I actually, the people that make Apex told me that they were going to give me one, and they said, just wait until the new one comes out and then we'll give you that. But since COVID happened, they're not even in the offices. So I don't even know if they're getting sent consoles or not. So next year, last thing I need is another distraction. I'd rather hang out with you guys than play video games, to be honest. And so but I'd be afraid if I got a game console, I'd be playing games. So, okay. So I've got to write a song. I've got to write a song with this Mixolydian thing. But again, my whole point today was really to, and what's it called? What's it? Flipping off the parents? Is that what it's called? The kind of the point of the having the two scales there is because I want you to see or note that when I play either one of those scales, they start to sound normal after a minute. And so if I play G major and go to the G Mixolydian, then the Mixolydian sounds counter-revolutionary in a sense. And then if I go from G Mixolydian to G major, and that's why we were practicing playing up one and down the other, in the hopes that you could get fluid and just switching between the two. Okay? And that's kind of the goal. You can even do snippets. And there may be lines like that in the song when we get around to it. And so that's kind of the reason why I was showing you two different scales today. One was a rehash from 3 weeks ago, and one is the new one for the week. So we're going to spend the week on these two scales. This will pretty much be the window that we see for the rest of this week. Although I will probably do screen grabs of the song as we go. Exactly. Oh, make sure to get Rocksmith when you get the console. Okay. So I'm trying to think. I'm trying to think of how I don't have a song idea at all. So I'm like, oh, it's gonna be interesting. Hopefully, I can get a song done by Wednesday. If not, I'll push it to Friday. But I'll be able to get something down. I'll just, it may be a little forced. I felt like, was it last week's lesson was, well, they're all a little bit forced because I'm kind of forcing myself into a box. And that's not natural for soloing. So these are not solos. They could be thought of as solos, but they're really more like melodies. They're songs. And so in a song, you can kind of put yourself in a box. But when you're soloing, you want to just have all your tools at your disposal. And so far, all the tools we have so far that we've learned, the G major scale and the major pentatonics for each of the chords, G, C, and D. And then we added a blues note, a flat third to each one of those. So these are all our tools so far. And now we've got the Mixolydian. So I really do have to make this song very Mixolydian-centric. But I will hint at the major scale just so that there's that yin-yang thing going on. Okay? That makes sense? Ooh, you're going to get a VR system to play Beat Saber. Oh my gosh. What's Beat Saber? Is that like Star Wars Dance Revolution combo? Thinking of a new song. I know, right? I know, and I've got a bunch of work to do, so it's not like it's the only thing I have to do, but it's all good. I don't mind. I'll do it all for you. Yeah, guitar is definitely my video game for the most part. D-Roo was being sneaky. D-Roo just wanted to take a sip. D-Roo, where are you located again? I forget. Are you in Europe or are you in the States? And that's the big assumption there that those are the only two places. India, we get a lot of people from India too, which is crazy because it's a much later there. A lot of well, I know why, why they're up late because they're doing stupid like call centers for Americans during the day, and then they go home after working, answering American stupid questions all day. They go home and they can't go to sleep. It's like 2 a.m. Yeah, I know what's going on. So, and Sam is back. Here's to Sam. So we're gonna take a sip every time Sam comes back. You got that, Gary? All right. Darren. Oh, Darren is D. Rue is Darren. Okay, he's U.S. Okay, I didn't know that. I probably did. Holly's in the U.S. Holly's on the West Coast, I think, with me. Dennis, you're in the Netherlands. Bruce is in Florida. Gary's in Wisconsin. Streetwise, I don't know where you are. Streetwise just said yikes. Yoicks. Yoicks. Yikes. Yeah, I know. Dennis. I'm really tempted to get the hurdy-gurdy. I mean, it's the parts deposit's only $700, so I'm kind of like, eh. It doesn't get me, Yeah. Oh, he stays up late to meet with them. Isn't that funny, Catherine? Yeah. So he's doing the opposite. Scott Moore, Germany. Oh, very cool. Okay, so you're up late. Sorry about that, but hey, it's better than where I was before. Part of the reason I moved to 9 I was doing this originally at 11 a.m. Now I'm at 9 a.m. because I felt like I could get more European participation. You're in Sam is in Southeast Michigan. Darren, you're in Seattle. Okay, I liked Seattle. I was there once and I loved it. I just loved it. Water everywhere. When you live in Los Angeles, actually, I'm always amazed when I fly into Sacramento, how much water there is around Sacramento. It's like, come on, give us some of it. We just got rain last night, actually thunderstorms. First rain since April in LA. It's 8 p.m. Well, that's not bad. Okay, so we're hanging out. You're hanging out in Germany, working on your bluegrass chops. Yes. No, I know that, Dennis. Yeah, they're definitely a lot cheaper. But I've asked my share of dumb questions. But I've also been frustrated too at the language gap. Trying to, you can't use colloquialisms and you can't use similes or anything like that. So, Streetwise. Oh, West by God, Virginia. That's awesome, Streetwise. There's a place in West Virginia I would love to go. There was a time when, and it was just probably not just the rich, but they would build these giant hotels everywhere. And in West Virginia, there's one. Is it where? What's it? See, it's like a Grand Hotel. So like the Grand Hotel in Mackinac, I've been there. There's also a really cool hotel, a French Lick in Indiana, which I haven't been to. You're going to think of it. Is it in Robinson, Streetwise? The Greenbrier. That's what it is. Yep. You're probably right. You're typing it right now as I say it. Yeah, the Greenbrier is like, what? It's in the middle of Wisconsin or West Virginia, and you're like, wait, that is crazy. Yep. Yep. See, you got to it. Yep. The Greenbrier. It's crazy. And boy, my live stream thing is acting up funny. Yeah, it looks really, really cool. And I love those kind of majestic hotels. And then they're usually built around salt springs. Like, there was one, Airhead Springs was one that I went to. It was kind of similar thing. And they were built, we're talking over 100 years ago in the 1890s, that kind of thing. And I imagine it was largely rich people, but a lot of times it was people that had health issues, and maybe they had tuberculosis or lung issues, and they needed to be around some salt springs or something like that, or the doctor told them to go there or something. So a lot of times it was a medical thing. Yes, the Grand Hotel has the largest porch in the world, and then there's a miniature version, not like miniature, like tiny, but there's a mini Grand Hotel in Estes Park, Colorado. And I was there with Beth years ago, and I looked at it and I went, oh my gosh, that thing looks just like the Grand Hotel. It's like a replica. And Beth was like, what's the Grand Hotel? Well, in Mackinac, Mackinac Island, and where they filmed Somewhere in Time. Is that the movie they filmed there? Somewhere in Time with Christopher Reeves and Jane Seymour. Yeah, I remember that movie. That was a good movie. That wasn't a bad movie. It wasn't. I do like time travel movies though. Pull on a jug and we'll fix it. Yeah, right. Oh man, get some moonshine in me. Oh my gosh, I had some. My daughter gave me bourbon for Christmas. I was like, wow, that was kind of crazy for my. And I don't, like I'll have a glass of bourbon like once a month or something, but maybe twice a month, just to kind of chill. And she got me this bourbon, and I had some. It was like, whoa! It was like 103% alcohol. Now this one. This one is 127% alcohol or proof, not 103% alcohol. Sorry, 103 proof. This is 127 plus proof. This is crazy strong bourbon. So yeah, I've got quite a bit of bourbon now. People would give me bourbon, so I wish I liked it better. I'm getting there. I'm starting to learn my way around a little bit. I'm starting to tell the difference, but. Angelina, I need to get some rum actually, because you know what I did the other day, which was nasty. I had some Diet Coke and I said, I'm just not sleepy. I need help going to sleep. So I put some bourbon in the Diet Coke. It was nasty. And I remember that a common drink is rum and Coke, right? So I'm assuming that rum is better in Coke than bourbon. So it was nasty. I mean, it did help me go to sleep, but dang, it was nasty. If you're ever in Asheville, North Carolina, check out Biltmore. See, that's another one of those largest privately owned home in the U.S. Okay, that's crazy. Yes, Sam, send us some rain. We got some rain. We're supposed to get rain today, all day today. So that's good. I'm going to be working in my studio. I don't think I have to do anything acoustic. So I'm hoping to do a video. So I'm going to do a video. I think I wrote it yesterday. I don't know when I'm going to get a chance to film it, but basically bass playing for guitarists or something like that. 5 tips for bass playing guitarists. And so I'm going to talk about that. I start the whole thing with, if you were to ask me 20 years ago how many banjos, ukuleles, and basses I would have told you 0. And now I have 4 banjos, 6 ukuleles, and 5 basses. I'm like, what? In fact, I've got 4 basses hanging on the wall right here. I got the Beatle bass. I got the new Fretless bass. I've got my 5-string Squire bass that Austin bought me, the composer that I posted that music to. He bought that for me because he kept writing notes below my 4-string, and he said, just go pick up a 5-string and I'll pay you for it. And then the Squire bass 6, and then I have just a regular 4-string in the closet. So I'm going to do a video with all of those, and we'll because I want to talk about, it actually is going to be more me venting. I won't talk about the basses so much individually. I'll do a separate video for that. Mostly talking about tips for guitar players that want to learn they're thinking about playing bass. So, bourbon apple cider is, okay, good to know, Peter. Thank you. That's good. Yeah, I'm looking for, I need to look up some good bourbon drinks and maybe start to make some of those things. That was my mom's drink. She would just drink Jim Beam over ice. And it just was just nasty. I remember, and I didn't start drinking until I was 50. It was actually 51. I mean, I maybe had a beer or two, but I hated it. Now with sushi, I almost like beer better than Diet Coke. Beth definitely does. And that's a new thing for her. She never drank either until we were in our 50s. Wine, I don't like the taste of red wine, but I love the effects of red wine. somebody pointed this out on, what was it, Saturday, and it's 100% true. I have 10, the squirrel syndrome. I have 10 things going through my head at any one moment. And the great thing about having like a glass of wine for me, it knocks that down to about 3 to 5 things, which is actually really, that's how I start to relax, is when I'm not thinking so much. But I'm always thinking, and I'm always like, okay, I got to do this, I got to do that. I've got lists constantly in my head that I'm trying to keep track of. So, Black Roast Whiskey. Okay, I'll definitely check that out too, Addie. Thank you so much. And again, I'm not. One glass and I'm done. I mean, I'm a lightweight. I wouldn't even drive on that. One glass of anything, a beer, not so much, but a big glass of wine. Yeah, I'm like pretty sleepy, pretty kind of can feel it when I stand up. The bourbon's the same way. If I pour myself a generous glass of bourbon, and when I was in Louisville last year, I had 4 glasses in one sitting, which is the most I've ever had. And I felt so different than I normally. Well, any of you who've been drunk, you know the feeling. I don't know if I was drunk, but I was pretty darn close. And fortunately, we walked from the hotel to the bourbon bar, and it was like all of these glasses of bourbon were like $60, $70 glasses of bourbon. It was the Muhammad Ali Foundation, and they were taking us out. The production company was taking us out, and they wouldn't let us pay for anything. We were kind of the stars of the show. Not really. We were just playing music, play on and play off music for the award winners and everything. But like, we're coming from LA and we're musicians, so they just want to show us a good time. They're like, this is how we have fun in Louisville. And so we went to a speakeasy, underground speakeasy, and it's really fun. It's really cool to do that. So wine makes me very sleepy. Exactly. A Fender Squire bass for $80. Boom. Dang, that's perfect, man. That's awesome. I should toy around with getting finding some Squire basses and then messing them up somehow, but I don't do enough bass playing to really justify it. Most of the bass playing I do is just legitimate bass playing. You're drunk right now, Streetwise. He's in West Virginia. Well, it's because it's in the water, right? It's just the moonshine is in the water. They poured the moonshine out, and it's all the water. You're just like it's in the well water. But yeah, so I started drinking. It was funny because I remember specifically sitting down at one of my favorite restaurants. I like sitting at the bar, but I would always drink Diet Cokes or whatever. And that's the other thing. Is the reason I started drinking wine and beer is because if I have a Diet Coke for dinner, I'm going to be up all night because it's stupid caffeine. So it's like, it's more medicinal than anything. But I have caffeine-free Diet Coke, which is really hard to find right now. I cannot find it anywhere. I think I've got 7 cans left and 2-liter bottles left, and then that's it. I can't find it anywhere. So yes, you can ask me a question about notation versus tab. And I've talked about that in the past. I'm gonna regardless, I'll answer your question, but I'm gonna give you a link to one of my videos, okay? Because I think, where was that? Would have been here. My playlists, yeah, here. But Asahi is great with sushi. Oh my gosh, Asahi Light. I like the light beers. The Japanese light beers are my favorites. And even then, this still tastes like stale urine to me. Sorry. Let's see. Sorry, I got. Okay, here's this. Copy. Oh, what? I can't. All right, I'm going to grab you a link here. And this video is in my very highly unpopular series, The Business of Making Music. I'm basically giving away all the secrets about how I make a living, and nobody's watching them. It's hilarious. It should be required viewing for all music students, but anyway. This video here has not even 600 views, 596 views. 22 likes, no dislikes, but... Dad says we need to get rid of all the alcohol before it expires. That's hilarious. I'm going to have to remember that one. See, if I was like really into alcohol, it would be funny. I'm just not. So, okay. So Sam Stamos is asking, I came across a song for classical guitar in notation. Any suggestions, easiest way to convert to tab? I can read music, clarinet, high school, but never for guitar. Thank you. No, I would do it yourself. I know that sounds like a chore, but I think in the process of doing it, you would do 2 or 3 things. You would start to learn the song better. And there may be a song out there. What piece is it? Because I bet you somebody's done tab of it. And then the other thing is that you will learn more about reading music for guitar. So you will definitely learn a couple things in the process. It's kind of like, should I buy a tab book for this record that I really like? I'm sure, but what I would do before you do that is I would try to tab it out yourself. Try to figure out the record yourself, because you're going to learn a lot more doing that than you will from a tab book. Although the tab book may do it correctly, and then you'll learn it the right way. So you may learn it the wrong way if you do it yourself. But you learn so much when you try to figure things out. And it's a lot easier to figure out things today. You can slow them down. You can, which I couldn't do. Well, I mean, I did. I remember going, was it 33 1/3? I could slow down to 16 on one of my turntables. And that would be an octave and a half step lower. So then I would have transpose it up an octave and 1 fret. So, but Sam, does that help? I don't know if that. Yes. Now, good classical music should tell you where it is. Okay. There's certain notations that you would need to learn. Like there's a V. Like if it says B, the letter B, and like the letter V. Like a capital B and a capital V, that means you're barred at the 5th fret. Okay? If it's a B and it says half V, that means you bar the top 3 strings, half of the strings. If it says 2/3 and you bar 4 strings. If it says sometimes it'll say 1/3, that just means you bar top 2 strings. Okay? It's a Greek piece, The Star of the East. Oh. I keep forgetting that you're Greek. You're the one that keeps asking me about the Greek Bouzouki. And I was looking into it Saturday after you asked me. I was looking on Reverb. But the ones on Reverb, I don't want to pay for ornamentation. I just want a simple instrument. So I may have to go back to the... where is it? Is this it? No. Oh, yeah, these guitars were cool. I forgot about these. Yeah, the harp guitars. Actually, these harp guitars are kind of cool. I just don't know how much space I would take to store it. There's no NAMM this year. Oh, here it is. So this guy, I have his website, and I may email him and go, "You remember me from NAMM?" I mean, not that I want to get a deal necessarily. The prices weren't bad, but you can't really see this, but you do a screenshot. It's too bright. See this? The light on it is too bright. It's white. The contrast is not as too. But basically, these guys had a booth at the NAMM show, and they had Bouzouki's like from $200 to $2,000, and so I even asked them, is there a lot of difference sonically? And they said, not really. I mean, I wouldn't mind necessarily having a pick. I don't know if I need a pickup. Just don't think that's going to be happen. Let's see. Dennis is talking about personal problems again. Oh, guys are in junior high still. Holly, Holly, let's see. I wish I'd learned to read music when I was a kid. It's took my brain as an adult. Yeah, and the music thing, the video I posted. Do you need to learn to read music? I say. I think my ultimate conclusion is yes, if you want to have a career as a musician, because, and not as a band, an artist, that's different. I would say no. But if you want to be a musician, a working musician, then especially guitar players, I think probably not even a third of guitar players know how to read music. Professional guitar players, you're probably looking at a third of know how to read music. So you can. There are jobs that certainly require you to be able to read music, and you are eliminating a lot of competition if you can do it. Like if you're trying to get that, there may be 2, 3, 4, 5 guitar players that want to get that gig at the local playhouse to do that, 5 nights a week musical through the summer or whatever, and pays $125, and it's like, but they can't read, so no, can't do it. And of course, the piano player can read, and the bass player can read, and the drummer can read, and the sax player can read, and the string player can read, but the guitar players, they just don't learn to read because they tablature. And I've never seen tablature for saxophone. They have drum notation, but generally a lot of drummers learn how to read if they study. But guitar players, I'm guilty of it too. I didn't, I tried to ascertain if I had a student that was really wanted to be a guitar player, then I would say learn to read, and I would make them read. Boop, boop. Oh, cool. Oh, nice. That's cool. So for Bouzouki. Yeah, and to be honest, Sam, the Bouzouki stuff I'm going to do is probably not going to be very legit. Bouzouki stuff, it's going to be a composer is going to hire me to get that Bouzouki sound. He's going to write melodies, and he's not going to be fluent in Greek musical history, and he's just going to write melodies that he hears. So that's typical. I just did, like the oud stuff I did. If you listen to that video I posted for Pathless, the oud stuff was very atypical oud music. And it was very, very diatonic, very Western in its musicality. There were no Middle Eastern scales in it. So yeah, so if I'm going to get an Irish or Greek Bouzouki, it's going to be just to have so I can pick it up and read on it and play. I think it's tuned. Is it tuned in fifths? I can't remember now. I have to look it up. It may be tuned. I think the guy said it's actually tuned like the top 4 strings of the guitar, which makes it really easy to read on. But the neck's really long. I'm going to have to get some kind of strap for it or something, and I'll do some more research on it. Maybe that's something I'll order now from the guy. And I know that people are having a hard time, and probably even harder in Greece with travel restrictions that they are, because so much of Greece's revenue comes from tourism. So, anyway, okay. Peter, Ollie, that post timing was, guys. It's just well, I read it as junior high. I don't know. Okay, so and I still haven't told you when I during. So I remember on my dad's birthday after he passed away. I thought, my dad would always get a. He always got every night. He had a gin martini. So I went to my restaurant that I went to a lot of times in Pasadena and sat at the bar, and I said, "Hey, I want a gin martini," and the bartender, she said, "What kind of gin do you want?" I said, and I knew the term "well," which is the cheap stuff, because I worked I was a sound man at a bar, and I knew the terminology. Or that terminology. I just said, "Just the well gin's fine," and she said, "Really?" And I was like, "Yeah." And so she made the drink for me, and then she watched me take the first sip, and it tasted like Clorox. And she goes, "It's not good, is it?" I said, "No." This is what my dad drank. And she goes, "Oh, no, I doubt he drank well gin. He probably drank something," and she named some other gin. And, okay, Scott Moore. Thank you, Scott Moore. CFAD. CFAD. So, is that low to high? So that's perfect fourth. No. That's a whole step below a guitar. Okay. Perfect. Great. Thank you, Scott. I'm sure and Sam got there too. Oh, interesting. Okay. I'll check that out. Just is that who you said Costa? Is that who you said before, or did you give me 2 different names? Oh no, okay, I got it. Copy. I'll even subscribe to his channel. Ooh, I'm live. Okay. All right. So I'm subscribed to his channel, so I'll check him out. Yeah, it's cool that he posts the music. That's awesome. All right. So let's see. I'm going to sign off. I got to get some work done, and I got to try to write a song for you guys for Wednesday. Hopefully, I get something done. And it was flipping off the parents, right? That's what we're calling it. Yeah. All right. Well, God bless you guys. I'll talk to you soon. Yeah. See. Yeah. Your dad too, Jim Martini. It must have been a generational thing. I don't know. Sapphire Martini with a twist, my favorite grown-up drink. Yeah, and I've through the years now, especially if Beth and I go out, we like go to a hotel or something like that and have a bar. I touch my face, so we should take a sip. Oh, you post music too, Streetwise? You're on YouTube? Streetwise Johnson. Is that your handle on YouTube? I see you. Quarantine Blues. Okay. I'm not going to play it now, but I'll check it out. I'll check it out later. Okay. Anyway, yeah, so I'll get to work on this, and hopefully we'll have a new song on with tab and everything. And then Sam, like I said, probably try to transcribe something yourself and see what you can do. I think you'll learn a lot from that process, and that's kind of always, the more things you can learn. You don't really learn anything when you buy a tab book except the song. But if you tab it out yourself, you're probably learning 3 or 4 things plus the song. So that would be my recommendation. So, okay. Oh, you play all the parts. Cool. All right, guys. I'll talk to you later. Thank you so much for hanging. Everybody, thank you for the money love. Oh, I pinned that thing. It's funny. It's still there. The shirt is pinned. Unpinned message. I don't need that there anymore. Yeah, thanks for the coin, Peter, and I've lost them. They're up here somewhere. But Holly, I know you sent some love. I appreciate it. It means a lot to me, and it does help me keep going. So YouTube, if there was 0 revenue from YouTube, I wouldn't be doing it. So sad to say, but yeah, I'll see you if Lord willing, if I'm healthy, and then Friday we'll talk. Friday's New Year's Day. I mean, it's not like we're going out and partying on New Year's Eve, so probably some of you may be a little bit hungover, but I may just go regular time on New Year's Day, okay? Because, I mean, I don't care about football or anything like that, so not anymore. I just don't know. Since I had kids, I tried to prioritize the kids over watching stupid sports, so anyway, but that was a long time ago. It kind of weaned me off of that, so I will talk to you later, and Wednesday, hopefully we'll have a new song, Flipping Off the Parents. People are like, why are you calling these songs weird names? Anyway, I hate naming instrumental songs. It's so stupid. So, okay. God bless you all. I'll talk to you soon. Bye. Yeah.